Good evening, everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us today. So, after much thought, I realized that maybe it is better to start the WhatsApp group after we have gotten a little bit more into the actual technical analysis, which will be starting as of next week. So, great job, you guys. I'm so proud of you guys for walking with us and getting to this point. So we are about to get into how to actually set real trades. We are about to get into trading. You are about to become a retail trader. So I want to say congrats. Great job. Thank you guys so much for sticking with us and for being dedicated enough to get this far and for fighting for your economic empowerment, for learning so that you can empower yourself. So before we get started, to answer your question, Chuck Sawyer, we're going to be starting off with demo accounts, which means that you will be trading with fake funds before you start trading with the real funds. The reason why is so that by the time that you open up an account with a broker, you would have already mastered your trading. So we want to make sure that you know what you're doing before you even touch your real account. So that being said, with a broker like Forex, you only need $15 in order to start an account. So it's just based on what you're looking to get started with. So for Forex, it's $15 for what they call a cent account. We covered that last week. So if you're interested, feel free to go back and watch it. A mini account is $100. A standard account is $1,000, and a VIP account is $10,000. So all of that was covered last week and the week before, actually. So feel free to go back and watch it. But before we actually get started for today, as usual, please bow your heads. Father, we thank you so much for this opportunity to come together again so that we can move forward together. We know that the only reason that you ever allow challenges inside of our lives, such as COVID, is to teach us a lesson, to show us something that, and to empower us so that in a way that we have never been empowered before, so that you can use us to fulfill our purpose. We know that you only remove things from our lives when you are getting ready to take us to a place that we have never been, and when you are ready to take us higher, Lord. We know that you are doing amazing things. We know that you are working all things for our good. So we ask you, Lord, to just take control and show us the way. We ask that you would take what was meant for our harm and use it for our good. We ask, Father, that you would take everything that we do and just multiply it like you do, because God, you are the way, the truth, and the life. We know that you multiply what we do because you are the God of the impossible. We know that it is impossible to please you without faith, because we know that the things that you have us to do are so much bigger than we could ever imagine. Lord, so we give it all to you. We entrust all of our dreams, all of our hopes, all of our heart's desires to you, because you have said that you will give us the desire of our hearts, and you've also said that you've placed those desires into our hearts. So we trust you, Lord, to continue to guide us until our purpose is fulfilled and until you call us home. We ask you to continue to give us these dreams and give us these visions and give us these ideas and give us these hopes until the day that you call us home. And in Jesus' name we pray. Amen. So once again, thank you everyone for joining. Please take this moment to share. So you may know someone that's interested in Forex. You may have a family member that may have gotten recently laid off. They're looking for a way to make their money work for them instead of working for money. Or you may have a job and you want to have multiple sources of income. Maybe you're ready to take your life to the next level. Whatever it is, we welcome you and we ask you to please share so that everyone has an opportunity to earn those multiple streams of income. So while I'm inviting you guys to share, I'm also going to be sharing this. So while we are sharing, let us know what some of your goals are. So as of next week, we are going to be really looking into our Pip goals and our dollar value goals. So how many pips do you want to make every week? How much money do you want to make on a weekly basis? Those kinds of goals. So we will be starting off with a small amount so that it might be 50 pips. So I'm actually going to ask you guys to whether it is in the evening after you get home, whatever time you can. The market is open from Sunday 5 p.m., so it's open right now, and it closes Friday at 5 p.m. So within that time, I'm just going to ask you guys to please practice what we would have covered on each of our Sundays. Good evening. So just please continue to practice. Practice is what makes perfect. Practice is what makes you an expert. Practice is what makes you a master. Practice is what causes you to exceed anything that you ever thought that you could do. So please practice, practice, practice. Everything that we are about to teach you as of next week onward, please practice, guys. We need you to become a master at trading inside of this market. Because guess what? If you can do it, each one teach 10. That's our motto in Master Trade House, which means that you can help someone else to become a master. And if all of our people are economically empowered, what can't we do? And why can't we do it? So that being said, please, once again, share, share, share. But please, guys, please practice what is taught from next week onward throughout the week, so that every Sunday you could actually tell us the amount of pips you would have made that week. Because I want to, you know what, we may even have some rewards involved, but I'll let you guys find that out a little later on. So that being said, once again, invite your friends, invite your family before we get started. And let's move forward together. Really looking forward to growing with you guys, really looking forward to witnessing you guys grow, really looking forward to hearing about the people that you would have taught about Forex, really looking forward to just everything that you guys are going to be doing. I look forward to hearing about the resorts that you start, and the hotels, and the businesses, and the websites, whatever it is that you want to do, the education that you get to invest in, the way that you get to move forward. So I'm looking forward to hearing all of that, and I look forward to also seeing all of that inside of our WhatsApp group. So again, it has not yet been started because I realized that it's probably better to do that after we would have learned the technical analysis, so that way we could keep up with each other. Our groups, so we're gonna establish trade groups, persons that you can trade with and set your goals with, people that will keep you accountable to say, hey, did you trade today? You know you're supposed to trade today. You know you're supposed to be making this amount today in order for us to make our weekly goals. So you need your group, you need your team. So we're going to be establishing that WhatsApp group next week. 3 Archer, all you have to do is send a message to me, Cara Ellis, on WhatsApp to let me know that you are interested. My number is 437-4326. Once again, that is 437-4326. You may have also gotten my 802 number if you are from Elizabeth, but like I told you guys, it seemed like the live was blocking cell-to-cell calls. So I prefer that you have this number. If you know anyone in Elizabeth that did have the 802 number and does not have this one, please feel free to share it. And these classes are for everyone, whether you are from Elizabeth or any other part of the Bahamas. We just want for our people to become empowered and to not have to worry about, okay, awesome, 3 Asher. And to not have to worry about getting funding, so you can actually fund yourself. Or you can be an investor who looks for startup businesses that other persons are looking to get into, and then you just have your money working for you all around. So that being said, let us get started for the night. So first and foremost, tonight is all about charting. Tonight we actually get to take a look at the charts and understand what is all of this. So last time you would have heard me mention that these little lines here that you see on the screen, these are called Japanese candlesticks. You may have remembered the numbers on the right side of the charts. These are called pips. So we are going to get through what all of this is, all of these charts, all of these sections. So if you have not signed up for Smart Trader as yet, please take this opportunity to, whether you're watching the replay or really if you're watching the replay, pause this video, start an account with Smart Trader. Please, guys, watch this video, this particular live, watch it again, because I would love to have you guys following along with the charts. But if you don't have another device that you can sign on to while you're watching this, then please watch the replay, pause it, go back to your charts, and let's go through this together. So I'm more of a hands-on teacher, and of course, because of COVID, we can't be face-to-face and everything, but we can still do hands-on by pausing and moving along together. So that being said, let's get straight into it. So when you go into a chart, the first thing that you will notice is probably going to be these squiggly lines right here. These are what we call Japanese candlesticks. Feel free to take notes because these are some important, this is some important information that you will need as you go through. You're going to constantly hear me call these candles or candlesticks. So as we go through these training sessions, so please take a note of that. These are called Japanese candlesticks. And why are they called specifically Japanese candlesticks? Why not just candles? Why not just candlesticks? So the reason why they're called Japanese candlesticks is because each of these candles, they can have what we call a tail, a wick, and a body. So with regular candlesticks, you really only have the body of the candle and a wick. Or let me say with Bahamian candlesticks or American candlesticks or candles that you usually see in the store. But with Japanese candlesticks, they usually have tails, a wick, and a body. But the reason why they have these parts is because each of them actually have a specific function or a specific purpose. Japanese candlesticks are actually used to show which direction a trader can expect for the price to go, or which direction the price has gone, up or down. They also show the trader where to enter a trade and where to exit a trade. It is important to read the candles and rely on your analysis instead of just a gut feeling. So we also would like to ask you guys to please pay attention to the economic news, especially in this time of COVID, because the news or economic news has a lot to do with where the market is going to go. As we touched in the last session and the session before that, economic news definitely is what is some of the things that contributes to the movement in the market. So COVID has caused fear, and on a major level, which can also be called hysteria. It's one of the things that causes the value of a currency to decrease. So you'll notice when COVID was first discovered in Wuhan, China, then you had a lot of businesses that were closing down their businesses or closing their locations, whether it was temporary or whether they actually had to close down in order to prevent any of the spread of COVID to any of their customers. So Apple was one of them. Apple closed their branch in China to prevent persons from getting COVID. So this is what causes the value of a currency to decrease or fall. And in this market, whenever the value of a currency is going down or falling, the candle will turn red. Whenever the value of the currency is going up, the candle will turn green. So these candlesticks only reflect what's actually happening in the market right now. And that's why you need to know the news. So if you've never listened to CNN before, I would like to invite you to please do so. Because again, yes, Bloomberg as well. So three archers got it. Bloomberg, CNN, all of these types of news, anything that has to do with economic news, you're going to want to pay attention to. So maybe you want to find a currency that you trade very often, for example, US dollar, then you can listen to their news. So whatever channels that you know would educate you on their economic news, what the government says, what the president says, what Biden is doing, all of that is going to affect the market. So we're going to be touching on Forex fundamentals in our next session. And we are also going to be touching on the first of the very many strategies within technical analysis, which is going to be candlestick formations. But for tonight, we just need you to get familiar with the chart so you know how to use it. before I go any further, good evening to everyone. Good evening to Nia. It is great to see you online. Good evening, Godfrey McElpine. Good evening, Three Archer. Good evening, Kevin Williams. Good evening, Wendy Rowe. Good evening, Craig Burrows. Good evening, Kevin Smith. Good evening, Alfonso Poe. Good evening, Sharon Steino. Good evening, Sonia Paul. Good evening, Chuck Sawyer, S. Steino, and everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. So once again, welcome to everyone. And for those that would also be watching, good evening, Deandra Too Sweet Bullard. Good evening. So for everyone that may be watching this, good evening, Christopher King. Good evening to everyone, Miko Knowles, and all of those that are watching this after we would have hosted it. So now that we have had our greetings, let's get back to the candles. Once again, these candles are showing you something within the market that is happening. It is your job to learn how to read these using the technical analysis that we're going to be covering, and using candlestick formations, the whatever indicators you want to use, whatever kind of tools you may use. You may use Fibonacci, you may use trend lines, whatever it is that you would like to use. We recommend that you combine your technical analysis with the economic news. So to get back to Japanese candlesticks and how they work, as I mentioned before, a Japanese candlestick has three parts. The candlestick, the very thin line at the top of the candlestick is what we call a wick. The thick part of the candlestick, which is usually in the center, is called a body. And the thin line that is to the bottom of that candlestick is called a tail. So what happens in this market is the price, I just want to show you guys what's happening as it is forming. The price is going to start when a new candle forms. So it's going to start moving. And you can see this green candle is one that was just formed. So this thin line to the bottom shows where the price would have gone the furthest down to. So this candle currently has a tail. The tail shows the lowest price that the candle would have gone to. It has a body. You can see the bottom of that body. Because this candle is green, this is actually where the candle would have started, or where the price was when this is a one-day chart. So this is where the price was when the day began. So as the price increases, then you're going to see it moving up and down, and it causes what we call a wick. So that's the thin line to the top of the candle. This shows the highest price that the price would have gone to. And because this candle is green, showing that the market is moving up, the top of the body, which is where this arrow is now pointing, shows where the current value of the price is, but it's usually higher than where it would have started if the candle is green. This candle is red, which means that if you look at the tail, again, this is the lowest price that the market would have gone to. The wick, this is the highest price that the market would have gone to. But this candle has already what we call closed, which means that this is no longer an active candle. So because it's red, the price would have closed lower than it started. So the body of this candle at the top is where it started because this is a red candle. The price then went down and closed right here at the bottom of that body. So for example, when this candle started, the price was here. The value of the currency would have risen, and this was the highest that it would have gone to, and the candle would have been green at this point. You can see the candle is now turning red. As for the current one that we are looking at or that is forming. And the reason why is because as the price goes below where it started, it changes color automatically. This is why I appreciate Smart Trader, so it automatically changes the color for you. So the price would have gone down, created this tail, which is the lowest price that it would have gone to, and eventually it would have gone back up until it closed right here. So this is what the Japanese candlestick is telling you. It's telling you whether the buyers or the sellers, so the buyers would be the ones that cause the green candles to form, and the sellers are the ones that cause the red candles to form. It's telling you whether the buyers or the sellers are in control of that market at the time. So there's a constant fight between buyers and sellers. Buyers want for the price of the value to go up, sellers want for the price of the value to go down. So that's where we come in. As you trade inside of this market, you will actually either be a buyer or a seller. So you want for the market to either go up, like it did here, or go down, like it did here. So we're going to move to a smaller time frame so you guys can see more candles and more movement of the candle as it develops. So to move on from these Japanese candlesticks, the actual platform that we are using is smarttrader.com. So once again, if you have not signed up for it as yet, please do so. Inside of this platform, you are going to have access to your charts. Now, to do that, you would need to select a workspace, which is going to be on the left-hand side of your screen. So where that word lessons appears on my screen, that's actually a workspace. So you can create multiple workspaces if you'd like by selecting Add Workspace. So I just clicked on Add Workspace, and you can name it whatever you'd like. So you could name it Practice, for example, or you could name it, let's say, Elizabeth Forex Classes. So you know which workspace you'll be using whenever we come online. You can choose any of the currency pairs. If you don't know what a currency pair is, feel free to watch our second session or our first session so that you can learn about the currency pairs, how they work, and how they affect this market. So we're just going to select GBP USD for an example. We are going to go to the 30-minute time frame. So we will get to time frames in just a moment and explain what that is and why we use it. And if you wanted to, you could select any what we call templates. So if you want to use indicators, if you want to use anything that would automatically apply itself to the chart, then you can use that. So for now, we're just going to not use any of the templates. And by clicking on Add, you just created a new workspace. So the workspace is not just the chart. The chart is only the area that is highlighted in this blue rectangle here. But the workspace is all of this. So it's going to be the tools on the left. It's going to be the tools on the top. It's going to be the trading section on the right, all of that information. So all of that is inside of a workspace, but the chart is only the area that is highlighted in blue. You can access multiple charts at the same time. And you can also add items onto your charts. So for tonight, we are going to cover the most important tools that you will be using throughout this time and how to actually navigate these charts. So first and foremost, if you want to switch between currency pairs, you have two options. You can either use what is called the Forex Market Watch on the right-hand side of your screen. So there will be a specified set of currency pairs that would automatically show up whenever you sign up for Smart Trader on the right-hand side of your screen under the Forex Market Watch. You can switch between any of these, but if you want to select another pair that may not be there, the second option is to go directly where you see the currency pair showing up to the top left side of the screen. Once you click on it, then you will be able to choose any of the currency pairs that that broker will allow for you to access. You can also take a look at other types of markets. So for example, NASDAQ, indices, Bitcoin, cryptocurrencies, any currency that is traded in the market, as well as stocks. So you can see to the top here, you have your options: Forex, crypto, or stock. So you can use this platform to trade any of those three markets, and any currency, stock, or cryptocurrency that is traded in any of those three markets. So for now, we're going to stick with GBP USD. Now, the time frame is something that is very important. As I mentioned before, the Japanese candlesticks will show you where the price was when that time frame first began, and where the price ends or closes when that time frame ends. So each candlestick actually represents a specific amount of time. When you choose a time frame from the section to the top here, where you see the 30 minutes, then each candlestick on your chart will represent that time frame. So if we go to the 1 year chart, you'll notice that there's less candles because each of these candles represents a year. So from this market began in 1993, or from, it was shown on the charts, from 1993 to today, but this would be 2021, you can see all of the candles that represents each year. So in 1993, for that year, the value of that currency of GBP would have dropped. In the year 1994, it would have risen. The year 1995, it would have dropped just a little. The year 1996, it would have increased dramatically. It dropped a little in 1997, and you can go on and on and on until you get to 2021. So if we go to the daily chart, you're definitely going to see more candles than was in the year. So all of these are Japanese candlesticks, all of these. And each Japanese candlestick represents 1 day from 1993 to now. The red arrow points at the candle that is forming in the recent time, or from whichever time frame began until the next, well, in this case, this is a daytime frame. So from 5 p.m., this candle would have formed and started to move. So it's now 7:10 p.m., but by tomorrow, 5 p.m., this candle would have closed and another candle would have opened. So moving on from the 1 day, if we go to a 4-hour time frame, again, you're going to see more candles, but the smaller time frames only show more candles because it's showing you how each of the candles on the larger time frame form. So if we go to the 1 day time frame, this candle would have represented Thursday, September 23rd. This candle represents today, September 26th. So if we go to the 8-hour time frame, from September 23rd shows up, which would be on this candle here. We can start to see within 8 hours, these 4 candles, sorry, these 3 candles, because 8 times 3 is 24, these 3 candles would have represented the movement for that 24-hour time frame. Then from today, sorry, from the 24th, which was Friday, into today, you have these 3 candles. So going into the 4-hour time frame, you're going to see how that big red candle formed. So the 23rd would have started on this green candle here. And from here, you can see the development of the 23rd up to this candle. And from here to this candle was the 24th, so on and so forth. So as you go to each smaller time frame, you just have more candles that shows what happened or the movement that would have happened through each of the days or through each 24-hour time period. So within this market is made of what we call waves, and we're going to get through that in our next session. Yes, so 3 arches got it. The candles represent the selected time frame interval. Yes, yes, it does. So this does help with chart analysis. This also depends on the type of trader that you are. So for me, I am what they call a day trader, which means that when I trade within a 24-hour time frame. So that's a day trader. You have long-term traders that may trade on a weekly basis or monthly basis. You will have shorter time frame traders called scalpers, and they may trade within a 3-hour and smaller time frame. So let me not say time frame. They trade within 3 hours or less. So in order for them to make a trade or to read the market, they need to have smaller candles or more candles to show more development at a faster rate. As you go through the smaller time frames, you're going to have more candles and more development of how the price is moving based on it rapidly changing. The higher the time frame you go to, the less movement you'll see. The lower the time frame, the more movement you'll see. So if you're looking for a place to enter as a day trader, I use 1-hour time frames, 4-hour time frames, and 30-minute time frames. For a scalper is going to more than likely use anywhere from 30 minutes and lower. And for a long-term trader, they may use anywhere from 1 week to about 4 hours or 1 day. So they're looking for trades that they will be in for a long time. I'm looking for a trade that's only going to allow me to be in for about 24 hours, 24 to 48 hours essentially. Or if you're a scalper or you trade on a shorter time frame, then you're looking for a trade that you'll only be in for a couple of hours or minutes. So yes, you have a number of types of traders. So that's why you have the different time frames that you can look at. So you will need to identify which type of trading you prefer. I do recommend the day trading simply because as a beginner, it helps you to have a more stable or reliable rate that the market is going to be moving at. If you trade within minutes, again, the more rapidly the market is moving. So that means that if you're only looking to be in a trade for 5 minutes, the market moves, let's say, an average of 10, 15 pips per maybe minute. So if you're looking to earn 15 pips, that can be done very easily. But the question is, how much are you risking? You want to make sure that you are not risking too much. And the best way to do that is to be on a larger time frame, but not a time frame that's too large, because then you are risking a whole lot. On a daily basis, the market moves easily 500 pips, 1,000 pips. So that one candle that is forming, we can actually go back to the chart so I can show you guys an example. If you click on any one of the candles like I did earlier in Smart Trader, it's going to show you more information. So you can see the specific price of where this candle would have started, which is called an open price. So it was 1.37188. The high, which is the highest that that candle went to, was 1.37357. The lowest that that candle would have gone to is 1.36. So the low is where the tail ends. The high is where the wick ends. And again, the wick is to the top, the tail is to the bottom. It's those thin lines to the top and bottom of the candle. And lastly, for the close, which is going to be, let's see, this is a red candle, so that's going to be at the bottom of the candle. You have 1.36657. So basically, once again, the second to last number is 1 pip. And whenever you're trading at a certain lot size or a certain amount or dollar value per pip. So in this market, we're just going to do just a little bit of math. So the open is where the candle started, 1.37537. And we're going to say, so we're going to see how many pips the market moved just, that would have been Friday. So it closed at 1.36657. So that would have been 0.0. So the market would have moved 108 pips. And this is a one-day time frame, so in 1 day on Friday. So that means that if you were trading at 10 cents, for the sake of time, guys, I am going to cheat by using my calculator. You would have earned $10.08 if you were trading at $1. Then you would have earned $108. If you were trading at $10, you would have earned $1,080 in 1 day. So all of this movement, this is what is causing you to earn money. So as the market goes up or down, again, that is how you earn your funds inside of this market. When the market is going up, you buy. When the market is going down, you sell. So that being said, to get back to learning how to use the charts, you want to make sure that you're on a time frame that you're comfortable with. If you want to practice, I recommend starting out with the 1 hour time frame. And you can see which direction the market is moving in through what we call trends. And we're going to cover that on next week, Sunday. And we're going to explain how the market moves, or really how to analyze the market through technical analysis. So I'm going to save all of that explanation for next Sunday. Next, in your toolbar to the top, you have what we call the price style. So you can choose how you want for the price movement to be represented or to look. So you can have bars, which shows where the price would have began for the hour, where the price would have ended for the hour. So where it began would be the line that's on the left, where it ended would have been the line that's on the right. The highest it went would be the line that's to the top. The lowest it went would be the line that's to the bottom. You can choose colored bars, which shows whether the price closed at a higher price if it's green than it opened, or closed at a lower price than it opened if it's red. So it helps you to see whether the market would have gone up or down. Candles are what we would say is the easiest to use in order to actually read the market. Hakeem Shakwan, I usually use Pax Forex. However, as I mentioned before, Smart Trader had recently removed, or in 2020, they removed Pax Forex from their options to trade. So I am actively looking for another broker to switch to. If you do have a recommendation, feel free. And let me know. But in the meantime, I'm trading it on MetaTrader 4. So once again, we will be going through brokers. I will take the time to go through that with you guys as we get closer to opening up live accounts, because for now, you only need the demo account in order to practice, which is what I want to do with you guys. So after you have gotten the practice, after you have mastered your trading, that's when we recommend opening up the account. For you, that may take a matter of weeks. It might be 5 weeks. For someone else, it might take 6 months. For someone else, it might take a year. So we want to make sure that you actually master this. And we're not going to tell you that this is how you make money quick, because if you ever hear someone talking about a get-rich-quick scheme, it's a get-rich-quick scheme. So you want to stay away from that. So we are here to... Oh, check out AvaTrade. Awesome. I definitely will, Miguel. Thank you so much. So we are here to learn a skill or how to trade in the Forex market. So please definitely take the time to learn as we go through. XM.com. Okay, thank you so much, Kevin Moss. I'll check out XM.com as well. Feel free, guys, to recommend whichever brokers that you use. And I will look into it, and we can actually compare them after maybe our 5th session from today. Just so we would have gotten through some strategy, we would have met some of our Pip goals, we would have gotten to practice a little bit more. So definitely IQ option, 3 Archer is also recommending. So I will take a list of these, and we are going to compare them about 5 weeks from now. So we can see which ones would be the best to open up our accounts with. You guys can also feel free to open up an account throughout the process, because once again, what may take one person 1 year might take you 5 weeks. So learn at your pace, practice at your pace, and move at your pace. Trading, like any other type of learning, is it's based on what you do. It's based on how much you practice, how well you trade. So only you can determine your progress. That being said, we're going to get back to, okay, awesome. 3 Archer says that he's going to check out the above mentioned brokers as well. So that being said, we're going to get back to the charts. I do recommend a 1-hour time frame as we practice, and we're going to cover more about that next week. So the candlesticks, again, they are the easiest to read from the price styles that you can choose, because the bodies are full, and you can clearly see where the candle begins, where it ends, the lowest that the price would have gone to, and the highest that the price would have gone to. So you can use hollow candles if you want to. You can see that the candles that indicate whether the price is going down is red, and the ones on the inside, and the ones that indicate that the price is going up is is white on the inside and has a green outline. The Fibonacci is going to be a bit more confusing, because you can see it's not actually representing where for each candle, whether the price closed higher or lower than it did. It's just representing, was the market going overall in a downward direction or overall in an upward direction for your trades. Now, for someone that is looking for trends, Heiken actually might help you. So it's just based on the purpose for you trading, but I would recommend using the candlesticks or candles because, again, it makes it easier to read, or it gives you the most accurate reading. You also have the Kagi or Kagai, it's up to how you pronounce it, Kagai, however you pronounce it. So you can see it really looks like a bunch of lines or squiggly lines showing where the price would have gone up and closed and where the price would have gone down and closed. Then there's the line chart, which doesn't actually show you much about how to read the movement, just where the market would have closed essentially. You have the mountain, which is basically a filled-in version of the line graph or line chart. And you have points and figures. So the purple, the circles represent when the market is going down. The green represents, sorry, the X's represent when the market is going up. It's red where the market went down, green where the market went up, and purple shows the most recent movement. Again, I don't necessarily recommend using this one because it's not based on whether that candle would have gone up or down necessarily, just the general, was it going up, was it going down based on a trend. So that being said, and you can see it's almost like X and O's, so after every X is an O, after every O is an X. I don't really recommend this one because, again, it can get confusing. So the candles are what I'm going to be teaching you guys using because it shows the most accuracy, whether for that particular candle, the price would have gone lower than it initially began for each of those time frames. That candle is going to be red. And if the candle closes higher than it started at for each of those time frames, then the candle is going to be green. So it's easiest to read. It's easy to tell where the candle begins, where the candle ends, the highest price that it would have gone to, and the lowest price that it would have gone to. So we will be covering this again for the candlesticks in our next session because you will be learning about candlestick formations. It's important to know, once again, these things. Next, you can compare. So you could have another chart that goes over the one that you are currently looking at. But I don't recommend using that right now or as a beginner. So yes, hiking like a strategy, yes. 3 Hatcher says the one with the X and O's makes its head spin. All right, loving seeing your guys' personality online. Once again, feel free to type any messages in the chat, any questions you may have. I'll get to them as we can. So next, you have zoom date range, which allows for you to zoom in on a specific date. If you click and you drag your mouse over, and once you click again, it's going to isolate that particular area on the chart for where the candles form so that you can see that closer. If you zoom area, okay, 1 second. So as long as you have that selected, you can't zoom in or out like I'm doing throughout. You will only be able to zoom through a specific area. So you could see this one, instead of it being from left to right, a time frame, sorry, an area, it would be based on where the square shows up. So you would click from one end to the next for whatever area you want to see, and it's going to zoom in. Make sure that this is deselected if you want to use your fingers to manually zoom in and out, or use these buttons on the charts to zoom in and out. So these buttons also helps you with moving on the chart. You can move forward by clicking on the arrow on the right side, backward by clicking on the arrow on the left side. You can zoom out by clicking on the minus sign, or zoom in by clicking on the plus sign. So it makes it easy. If you make a mistake, for example, if you were to draw something on your charts and you didn't want it to be there, then you can undo it. If you accidentally remove something that you didn't want to remove, you can redo it. Also, if you just want to delete everything that's on the chart, then you can click on this trash can on the left-hand side. And you can also click on the arrow to select delete all drawings or delete all indicators. So next we have the cursor type tool. So you can have an arrow, just a regular arrow, so you can move around and navigate on the chart. You can have an arrow with a marker, so you can navigate while being able to see the date and time to the bottom, and the pip level that your mouse is at on the right-hand side. So it shows you the date, the time, and the pips. Next, you can use the crosshairs, which allows for you to, again, identify the date and time, but more directly by following the line to the right, so you can see the pip level, and the vertical line to the bottom, so you can see the date and time. You'll also be able to drag using this, so it may help you if you prefer to more easily identify the date and time. But I prefer to use the arrow with the cursor, so it's up to you. Feel free to play with it and use it as you wish. Next, we have smart tools. These are going to come in handy, but I am not going to show you guys how to use this one because I don't want you guys to cheat. Not yet. We are going to be covering this inside of our technical analysis section. So feel free as we go through, or as you want to practice with it, to just take a look at the various smart tools by clicking on the arrow like I did. But again, I'm not going to give you guys any cheat codes yet. I appreciate the Smart Trader automatically integrated these, what they call smart tools, so it automatically finds those technical analysis points for you. But again, no cheating. Next, you have your drawings. So these would be your trend lines, your rays, horizontal rays, all of these tools you can access here. For a trend line, if you want to draw it, then you would just select it, click and drag, and once you release, then it stops. You can hold down over the actual line in the center or anywhere that is not these gray squares to move it. And if you want to edit where the beginning of the line is, you just move your mouse to the square that's on the left and readjust it. If you want to move the line or edit where it ends, then you would just select the square on the right and pull it down, or just move it around however you need to until it is where you want for it to be. You can select it and select delete. You can select it so you know it's selected when you see the square show up on the ends, and select the trash can. All right, guys, you can also undo or redo. So I just want to show you guys what happens when you select it and select the trash can, because it wasn't doing for a moment there. All right. So those are the trend lines. For us to go through all of these, this is going to take us a whole lot more time tonight, but you can practice using these before we get to the actual technical analysis, which will show you how to use each of these as we go through each of the strategies. So feel free to sign up for smarttrader.com and play with it as you wish. You can go to TradingView if you use that platform, whatever platform you prefer to use, feel free to do so. So next we have the Fibs or Fibonacci tools that you can use. So you have the actual Fibonacci tool, and we're going to explain what this is and how these lines work as we get through our technical analysis. You have what they call fib arcs. fib retracements, fib fan, so it's more like angles, fib time zones, and fib extensions. So we're going to get to our Fibonacci tools as we cover Fibonacci. It sounds like a funny name, but you guys will get to actually understand how to use these. So next you have the King's Crown, Head and Shoulders, ABCD tools, all of these. These are for the more advanced classes that we will eventually get to. So again, you can feel free to play with them, but I'm not going to cover them tonight. Then you have the Candlestick Formations, which we will be covering next week. And I'm not going to cover that one because, again, no cheating, guys. No cheating. So we'll cover this one next week. Then you have your tools or shapes, which you can use arrow up, arrow down, arrow left, arrow right, dot, square, diamond, image, whatever you want to use. So these are self-explanatory, and you will see me use these tools on occasion as we go through each of our technical analysis courses, but more so to show you something. So you won't necessarily use that very often, but it's there for when you need to use it. We're going to go until 8 o'clock. Thank you guys once again for joining us. And each of these tools, we're going to show you how they were developed, why they were developed, and what it is that they do. So I'm really looking forward to getting through these classes with you guys. All right, so on the left-hand side of your workspace, you will find a full screen icon. So you can actually have your screen just covered with the chart, nothing else to distract you. You have the full screen mode essentially for the chart, where it removes even the section to the bottom that shows a little bit about trading. So that allows for you to only see the movement and it on full screen. So for now, as we're going through this, I'm just going to leave it like this because it's easier to see. You can give feedback on anything that you would have noticed about the charts by clicking on that feedback button right here. Again, if you drew something and you want to delete it, then you can select it and click on the trash can. You can select delete all drawings or delete all indicators. So the indicator tool is up here, which we will cover in a moment. And you'll get to see what it is that they do. So next, you can take an actual screenshot or a shot of what's on your charts. And you can see it's downloaded. If I click on it, then I'll be able to see the photo. And now I have a picture of my chart. So next you have the show or hide drawings tool. So if you have drawings on here, maybe you want to combine a number of different types of strategies. And eventually it could get a little cluttered. So let's say you just want to see the actual candles themselves. Then what you would do is just hide the drawings and you can see just the candles. You can click on it again to view your drawings whenever you're ready to go back to them. And again, just delete all drawings. If you want to use a tool without having to reselect it, then you can select it and click on the pencil that I selected on the left-hand side of the screen. And you can always see what's selected. It's going to be highlighted blue. So this is auto select. Now that I've drawn one line, if I want to just draw another one, I don't have to select the tool anymore. So you have the option to click on this auto select tool and then whichever tool you want, or you can select the tool itself and then the auto select tool. So I won't be able to edit any of these lines while this is selected. So if I try to, then another one will just be drawn. Remember to deselect this whenever you want to edit the tool itself. Otherwise, you'll just keep drawing new lines. You have the magnetic tool, which helps with drawing. So whenever you can see it's highlighted red over whichever candle that I've chosen. Once I do that, then automatically, as I drag it over, you can see it was showing you where it would draw the line for you as you would have dragged your mouse over to another candle. So you can hover your mouse over and click when you're ready for it to be drawn. So this just draws the line straight through the candles, which is not recommended for trend lines, but it helps you to identify the overall trend that the market is going in, whether it's overall downward trend or an overall upward trend. So it automatically causes it to form in a downward line or an upward line. And again, we're going to be covering trends next week, so you guys can see what it is that I'm talking about. You have your measuring tool, so you can see how many pips the market moved from one point to another. So from this high to this low, the market moved, and we're also going to be covering highs and lows next week. The market moved 36.2 pips, so that's in 5 candles. They call the candles bars here, like the bar price tool. But these are candles that are selected. So 5 candles, the market moved 36.2 pips. And 36.2 pips can actually make you a lot. Again, it's based on how much you're trading, whether that's 10 cents, $1, $10, etc., etc. So from this low to this high, the market moved 21.6 pips, and you can measure whatever it is that you need to. If you want to measure from your entry point to your stop loss, if you want to measure from your entry point to your take profit, whatever it is. If you don't know what a stop loss and take profit is, watch last week's session. But the measuring tool just calculates the pips for you, so it's much easier. If you are a person that does coding or likes to write scripts, which is just programming or coding, then you can either select one of the codes that persons have already used within this software, Smart Trader, and you can also purchase them. Or you can create your own by clicking on New and writing the code for it to the bottom. So if you don't do programming, then I don't recommend that you use it. So 3-Archer, I do agree. The Pip Measuring Tool makes it a whole lot easier to identify how many pips the market is moving, or how many pips you want to use for whatever. Yes, so 3-Archer says it looks like BB, script writing. Archer says, Cara, if you click on Active Trader at the bottom right, there's an option panel for news. Yes. So you can choose, so we're going to get to the right side of the screen in just a moment. You can choose what you want to appear on the right side of the screen using the Active Trader section. So that entire right side of the screen is the Active Trader section. But we'll get to that in just a moment. So I did mention indicators when I was further down on this side of the screen. on the left side of the screen. So when we select delete all indicators, this is what it's referring to, indicators. So you have the ASI, Accumulative Swing Index, Adaptive Encapsulation, Alligator, A-Rune, so a number of indicators are here. You also should have the Bahama Mama, which again is an option that the Forex chief, who is the founder of Market Traders Institute, had specifically created for our, so there it is, for our traders that were part of Master Trade House, or as a result of working with Master Trade House, where our focus was again empowering Bahamians and helping them to learn more about investing. So you can use any of these indicators. You can practice using them. We will cover indicators like Bahama Mama, the stochastic oscillator, the averages. So all of those EMAs, all of those we're going to be getting into. Now the Bahama Mama is a tool that has become very effective in how you trade it. And as a result, the Forex chief realized that he could make it a premium tool. So it is something that you would have to pay for in order to use. I don't recommend that you do that until you are ready to start trading. So until you've mastered your trading with the demo, I wouldn't recommend that you actually pay for the platform to use the premium services. So next we have the text tool, which you guys have seen me use on occasion. Like when I type Japanese candlesticks, you can actually edit the text by using this dialog box right here. So you can choose the size, the font. You can bold, italicize, or underline the text. You can choose the text color, whether you want to highlight it. And you can also create a text style or apply a default text style. You can also move it by using the 8 dots that appears on the left-hand side of this dialog box so that it's out of the way of the candles, charts, or trading, whatever it is that you're doing. And the same for any other tool that you use. You can drag it around. You can use your cursor again, select the color, select the size or thickness. This is the trend line, so you can select the thickness of the trend line. You can select how it appears, whether it's going to be a straight line, dotted line, straight line, interval line, dotted line, or dash and dots. Again, you can choose a trend style, and you can choose which position that it shows up once you have multiple, whether it's trend lines or drawings on your charts. This one will definitely come in handy. So we're going to be covering all of that again in our sessions where we actually learn how to use these tools as we get to each of the strategies. So that being said, we are now going to get to the right-hand side of our screen. So we would have covered our actual trading widget. So that's what this is called. Each of these sections are called widgets. So this is your trading widget. This is where you would actually buy or sell the currency, and you can see the amount of, the spread for each of the currency pairs in this gray box that's between the buy and sell buttons. You can also see where the price currently is for the buy and sell, or what price it has to get to in order for you to start earning funds for on the trade, whether you buy or sell. So you'll notice that the price is slightly different. That's applying the spread already to the current price so that you can see where it has to get to for you to start to make a profit. So it's a small spread, a very, very small spread of 1.3 pips, and it'll adjust as time goes on. You have your lot size that you can enter. If you want to know what a lot size is, watch our last session. You have your currency pair. Again, if you don't know what that is, you can watch our last session. You have the demo account or any of the accounts, the trading accounts that you want to use. It's going to appear here based on what you connect to it. So then you can also set what we call a pending order. So this is a market order, which means that you are buying or selling immediately. You can set your stop loss directly by turning it on and your take profit directly by turning it on. You can use a trailing stop loss. Again, if you would like more information on what all of this is, you can watch the last session. For the pending order, if you want to know how to really set it, you can, or what it is, you can watch our last session, but we will also be getting to these as we look at how to set the trades for each of the strategies that we go through for the future. So you would select buy or sell, set your lot size, choose your currency pair, select your trading account, enter the rate where you want to actually enter the trade, or type in the rate where you want to enter the trade, set your stop loss, and set your take profit. When you're finished, you would select place order, and you can also type a comment. So next, you have the option of clicking on the arrows, which allows for you to see the various types of trades that you can set. So OCOs is if you want to set more than one order at a time. Complex OCO would be if you wanted to add a group or add pending orders, available pending orders, whatever you want to add. So you can actually have OCOs in groups, which is complex OCO. So it just opens up the dialog box for the trading in a separate section where you can see it or choose different options. Lastly, you have the option of a floating trading icon where you can select buy or sell anywhere on your chart. To move it, you would again use the 8 dots that's appearing on the right. If you'd like more information, then just click on the down arrow. If you don't need the stop loss and take profit to appear, you click on the arrow again and it hides it. Again, you can choose your currency pair, lot size, and trading account. So that's the trading widget. Next, you have the Forex Market Watch widget. So this is where you can either choose currency pairs that you want to appear here. If there's something that you don't want to use, then you can click on the X and remove it. If you want to add another one, then you just enter the symbol. So that was NZD. So you cannot add one that you already have there. And now you can see NZD USD is shown to the bottom. The same one that I just removed a moment ago. If you want to switch it around, you can drag it from one point to another. And you can put in order of whichever one you prefer to watch. If you've set a trade in any of these, you can put them to the top. So that way you can easily get to them whenever you are switching through your currency pairs. It shows the currency pair, the rate or the current price, the percent that it changed from that candle would have opened, and the rate that it would have changed based on the percentage from it would have opened, how many pips. So that being said, next on the widgets, what should be appearing is the news. So from Active Trader, if you click on that, you can add a new panel. You can access Active Trader, which is this to the top, the Market Watch, which is this to the bottom, Trading, the Economic Calendar, which would be the news, or just straight up news. So the Economic Calendar allows you to see what news is coming up and which currency pair it's going to affect. And Active Trader, as you can see, is all of the panels in one. So now you can see the news appearing to the bottom. You could also see that the active trader gives you an option to have multiple panels at the same time. So all you would need to do is click on the dot next to it in order to select the next grouping of widgets. All right, so that concludes how to use each of our tools. Now, within the workspace area itself, on the left-hand side of the screen, you can add a workspace or a chart. You can also go to Marketplace or purchase robots there if you want to use a trading robot. But again, we are here to learn how to trade ourselves, so I don't recommend that you guys get into that just yet. Also, with COVID still on a rise, the markets are fairly are moving at a rapid rate, essentially. So these markets can move unexpectedly when it comes to technical analysis if you're not paying attention to the news. So this is why I'm asking you guys, please pay attention to the economic news and use technical analysis. Robots don't read the news. They only use technical analysis. They only look at patterns. I don't recommend using a trading robot while we are going through this COVID situation because it's causing the markets to move rapidly in either direction. So share ideas. You can share Workspace as an idea. You can share a chart as an idea. You can manage the shared ideas and scripts. You can browse ideas or browse scripts. You can add your accounts by selecting this $ and selecting Manage Accounts. And you would just find a broker and go through the process. I'm going to show you guys how to do that after we get to, once again, the live accounts. But for now, you can use Smart Trader. If you already have a live account and you want to connect it, then you could go through the process. It's really, really simple. And select whether you are a US resident or a non-US resident. And they will direct you to the international brokers or their local brokers. So this platform is from Market Traders Institute, which is located in the US. Next, you have alerts. So you can turn on an alert if you've already set one. You can add an alert, edit the alert, delete the alert. You can also see your alerts history. And from here, if you have multiple alerts listed, you could start all or stop all. I'll show you guys how to create an alert once we start trading, because they will help you with knowing if you prefer not to set a pending order. You can pay attention to where the price is for any trades you may want to set by using alerts. Next, if you have any questions, then there is a Smart Trader Help Center and Support Center. So you can go here to ask questions or learn more about how to use Smart Trader. Lastly, if you select your account, you can choose your account to see more information about it. You guys can see that I have the 360 Pro plan. You can manage contact methods. You can see which time zone you are on or choose the correct time zone. You can contact the support team directly from here. You can see the global settings, which is basically choosing which colors you want for your candles to be and a number of other things. You can choose your theme, so light or dark. It's up to you. But once you select it, then you do have to click on Save to see it applied. If you want to change the color of your candles, then this is where you would do it. If you want to change what shows up when you are setting your trades and how the colors look, then you can do that as well. For scripting, if you want to change your font, your font size, whatever it is, then you can do that from here as well. You can see your partnerships, and you can also just sign out and sign into another account if you need to. I did not cover the theme settings, guys. I do apologize. So to the very top above the text icon, you have the chart settings, and this again is where you can edit the colors or edit the options that you have and the colors that appears for the trading. All right, so now we have officially covered all of the icons except for these two. So you have smart analytics that you can use and scan your trend lines, et cetera, et cetera. We're going to get to that another time. You can share your workspace as an idea, share your chart as an idea, and you can see there's multiple places where you can do that. You can do that from here as well. So this is where you can access trading rooms live. So this has to do with Market Traders Institute, and they would be giving you more information. But as you can see, most of this is in Spanish. You can save your information by clicking on the cloud. And you can also turn on autosave. I recommend having autosave on so that way you won't have to do it yourself. For the panel, you can choose settings and adjust each widget as you want for it to, or you can choose which widgets that appears. All right, so we have one more section, which is the actual trading section. Just give me one moment to close the scripts. So down here, you can choose trading or scripting to the very bottom of your screen on the left. So this is where you would see any trades that you are currently in, any pending orders that you've set. The history is for the trades you would have set. The account information would be how much funds you have on your account, how much you can trade within each account, which is also called equity. The account number, the login number, the account nickname, you will all automatically get this information from creating an account with Smart Trader. It's free to sign up, so please do take the time to sign up. And then, forgive me, if you set the OCO groups, like I showed you guys earlier within that trading widget, particularly clicking on the arrows here, and selecting OCO or complex OCO and adding group, that's where you would see this show up. So thank you guys so much for joining us tonight. Thank you all for your questions. I'm going to be going through your questions now, so please, if you have any questions that I did not get through or did not see while going through all of that information, feel free to ask them now. So once again, it was great to have you guys with us. Okay, Daltrick Mills, I see you were asking which pair is this and which time frame. That was the GBP USD currency pair, and that was on the 1 hour time frame. So I'm a day trader, which is why I recommend trading on a 1 hour time frame or setting your trades using the 1 hour time frame. But it's important for you to get to know which type of trader you are, whether you are long term, whether you're a scalper, whether you're a day trader. So please do take the time to practice using the various time frames and seeing which one works the best for you. Because again, for each trader, each trading style is different. So find out what works for you. Okay, 3 Archer had responded, so thank you so much. We addressed the active trader section. Kevin Moss was also responding to Daltrick Mills. No problem. Or I guess Daltrick was asking them. Sorry, was thanking them. Alexis Corona, I'm not sure what link that is. So I'm just going to delete it because I don't have any information on it. Alexis Corona, if there is any information you want to share with me, you can feel free to send me a personal message on Facebook. You can also feel free to just send me a message on WhatsApp. So for anyone that does want to reach out to me, the best way to reach me is to call me because I am usually busy. I am usually in meetings. Sometimes I am planning what I'm going to be doing for tonight or anything else, essentially. I love to have, as you could see my slides, I love to have pretty much everything planned out. So I might be in the process of putting something together. I might be in a meeting. If you miss me, I will call you back. But I do get thousands of messages every day. I may not see all of them. Please forgive me if I have not gotten to any of your messages. Please call me, guys, if you want to speak with me. That's how you get me. Otherwise, I will get to your messages usually on a Sunday after this session because this is usually when I'm checking my messages to see if there was anyone that had any questions, anyone that needed any assistance, anyone that was trying to get in contact with me, any of my clients. I am a graphic designer, amongst other things. So please, guys, send me a message at 437-4326. If you are okay with waiting up to a week to get a response, call me at 437-4326 if you want an immediate answer. That's actually why I got the 802 number, so I could respond to you guys faster. But again, it seems like there was some skullduggery that was happening with that phone number where I could not get cell-to-cell calls. So if you send me a message on the 802 number, 802-4326, then I'll get to your message much faster. But if you want to call me on 437-4326. All right, so Alexis, I would have deleted the link. I do apologize, guys. I did not see that. All right, so I'm not seeing any other questions. Deltrick knows which platform is being used. That was smarttrader.com. How to connect your trading account. I think you may have asked that before we actually got to the manage account section. So you would go to the $, just to once again show that in case you did not get your answer. You would go to the $, select manage accounts. Click on the plus sign where it says find a broker. Select whether it's a US account or non-US account. So in this case, I'm non-US. So you can see they have an entire section where you can actually sign up with their recommended broker, or you would be able to just connect your account. So we're going to get to that another time on how you would actually create the account. So once again, once we are ready to switch to the live accounts, then we will get to that section. And in order for you to connect another account from the demo that you would have signed up with, you will have to become a premium member. So they have various packages that you can use. I signed up for the 360 Pro package, and you can learn more about their packages by going to the billing section when you sign in. So that being said, I'm not advertising for Smart Trader. I only recommend actually using it because it's one of the easiest platforms that I have found to use. But feel free to trade with whichever trading platform you've found that works for you, whether it's TradingView, whether it's IQ Options, whatever account, whatever platform. MetaTrader 4 is best to use for the phones. It is free to actually use, whether you are using a demo account or a live account. So yeah, just connect it to whichever platform that you prefer to use. MetaTrader 4 is free to use on the computer, the tablet, and the phone, but thus far it is best to use on the phone based on how it appears. Okay, Kevin Moss, I'm seeing question mark. Oh, are you able to receive funds and send funds for trade on Smart Trader? So you would open up a broker. You would open up an account with a broker, whether it's Pax Forex. I noticed there were some other brokers that were recommended here today. So whether it is Pax Forex or IQ Options or XM.com, AvaTrade, whichever broker that you are going to use, which, like I said, we're going to be analyzing the various brokers that you guys recommend 5 weeks from now, because by then you guys should have covered each of the strategies. You should have gotten your practice. You should have been able to, they say it takes 10,000 hours for you to master any or become an expert in anything that you are learning. So hence the 5 weeks, which it could be less than 10,000 hours in 5 weeks. Sorry, not less than, more than 10,000 hours in 5 weeks. So by then, you should have already mastered your trading. For some people, it's going to take more than that. For some people, it may take 6 months. For some people, it may take a year. It's just based on how much practice you put in and how dedicated you are to learning it. So after that 5-week period, we're going to cover the various brokers, how to open up an account with them, how much you need in order to open up the accounts, all of that information. But where you would actually send and receive your funds for any of the trading accounts would be with your broker. So, for example, I use Pax Forex, like I mentioned earlier. Deltrick Mill says try 2 years. No worries. Whatever your learning curve, the important thing is that you are learning it. I do definitely recommend that you practice more, though, if it took you that long, because it may just be that you need more time applying the strategies to the charts, or it could be that maybe you started on your own, you didn't have a trainer with you, you didn't get to really have, I guess, a coach with you. So no worries, whether it's 2 years, 5 years, no matter how much time you've had, the important thing is that you keep on going, you keep on learning, you keep on moving, because that is how you improve. So practice makes perfect, as they say, or makes better. All right. Are there any other questions? Swing trader, yes. So I did forget to mention the swing traders. The swing traders are in between long-term traders and day traders. These are persons that would trade from anywhere on a day time frame to a 4-hour time frame. So swing trading is actually pretty good, but you can be in there for a couple of days. So it's really, again, based on how much patience you have. One thing you will definitely learn trading on this market is patience. If you did not have it before, if you think you had it before, trust me, you are going to become more patient as you trade on this market. It's a side effect. It's going to happen. Please be warned. So, yeah, identify which time frame is best for you. Practice, practice, practice. Thank you so much for saying that it was an awesome presentation. I'm grateful that you guys were able to go through it with me and that you were able to learn from it. So awesome, awesome, awesome. Next time, we will be covering the technical analysis once again and a little bit more about Forex fundamentals, which is essentially economic news, and how to apply it to your charts or your trading. So next week, guys, we will be actually setting trades. We're going to be putting together our goals, our weekly Pip goals. We are going to be identifying our groups. So if you don't have your group yet, if you have people in mind that you think you want to start this with, please send in the videos now. We have had 4 sessions thus far. This makes the 4th one. And you can help them to get up to date in time. We have 6 days from tomorrow onward, 6 days until our next session, when we are going to be learning technical analysis, how to read the news, how to apply it to your charts, and setting these trades. So please, that's less than one. Yeah, that gives you more than the opportunity to have more than 1 lesson a day. They might even be able to watch a lesson 2 times if they need to. So please, let's get this together. Let's get our people together. Find your group, whether you have one already or not. No worries. We are going to be adding a WhatsApp group next week, Sunday, so that everyone can get connected. If you don't have my number yet, let me show it. But if you have my number, send me a message to let me know that you want to be a part of this group. If you call me, again, you will get me faster. But send me a message. Let me know that you want to be a part of this group, 437-4326, and you will be added. You can also identify, like Daltrick knows it, that you want to be a part of the WhatsApp group so that we can just add you. So I noticed some persons from last week saying they wanted to be a part of it. I've already taken note of their phone numbers. This will officially be started on Sunday. Please, we need groups. You can have, we're looking at a minimum of 3 persons per group, because if it's only 2, trust me, you both will get busy and you're not going to keep each other accountable. But if it's at least 3, they always say 3 is a crowd, but if it's at least 3 persons, somebody is going to say, hey, did you look at GBP USD today? Oh my gosh, it was so crazy. Somebody's going to say, did you see GBP CAD? Did you see just any of the currency pairs? So please, let me show the number again, 437-4326. Feel free to send me a message there. It's going to be on WhatsApp, but if you're not on WhatsApp, I will also create a Facebook group so we can message there. I am not too familiar with Telegram, but for you guys, I'm willing to start a Telegram group as well. So whether you are on Telegram, WhatsApp, or Facebook, we will get connected. I'm also very interested in Signal because, anyways, I'll introduce Signal to you guys next week so you can see what it's all about. It's really cool. So I'll also have a Signal group with you guys. So please take this opportunity. Let's work together. Let's move forward together. Let's move on this. Signal and Telegram is more secure. Yes, it is. Absolutely. WhatsApp was secured. I didn't want to touch on it, but Mr. Mills, oh, that was Archer. Mr. Archer pushing my hand. WhatsApp was more secure, but then Facebook bought WhatsApp, and I'm on Facebook right now, so I prefer not to say anything further. You know, that's what she wrote. Yeah, so I'll just leave that there. But definitely, definitely, WhatsApp and Signal are more secure. So if you're interested, you've got my number. You can message me on Signal, message me on WhatsApp, message me on Facebook, and I should still have my number on Telegram. I had it a long time ago. So you can message me on Telegram as well. I look forward to really getting started with you guys. I look forward to seeing some groups and hearing about you guys making your 500 pips and your 1,000 pips. And listen, this is going to be awesome, okay? As long as we move together, we will get farther. So let's do this, guys. Good night, Romel. Good night, Daltrick. Good night to everyone. Thank you all so much for joining us tonight. It was great having you guys on. I loved seeing your personalities tonight. Let's continue to just shake off all the jitters and really get to know each other. It was great being a little personal with each of you. 3 Archer, loved your personality, loved getting to see that. Same thing to Daltrick, same thing to Miguel, same thing to everyone that would have messaged. So thank you all so much. It is great to see you, Wendy Roll. Thank you so much for being consistent and coming on every time. It is great to see all of those that come on every time. Great to see you, Godfrey. Great to see you, Kevin. Great to see all of you. Craig, nice to see you. Nice to see you. Kevin Smith, thank you so much for joining. Alfonso Vogt, great to see you again. Sharon Steino, thank you so much for your consistency. Sonia Paul, I believe I've seen you more than once as well. So I look forward to seeing each of you in our next session. Again, we're actually going to get to set our trades, guys. This will be awesome. Thank you for joining us, and have a blessed evening.